Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlimli. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. Coming up this morning, over $1 million stolen from Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapaah's home in Abilinkwe. Also on the NPP presidential race, we'll take you to the OT region where Alan Tremanting engages some party delegates on his bid to lead the party in 2024. And also, what role have morals and ethical values got to play in maintaining a peaceful environment? We'll find out from conveners of the maiden edition of the Uthman Convention, which will be attracting international Islamic scholars to Ghana over this weekend. We have details plus business coming up shortly. Please stay for details. Two house helps of Cecilia Dapaah and her husband Daniel Osei-Kuffour are before an Accra Circuit Court for allegedly stealing monies and items running into millions of Ghana cedis. The said monies were allegedly stolen from the couple's room in their house at Abilinkwe, a suburb of Accra in the Greater Accra region. 18-year-old Patience Boucher and 30-year-old Sarah Ajay allegedly stole the monies and personal effects of the couple between the months of July and October 1st, 2022. The first accused, Patience, also has her current and former boyfriends as well as her father all being dragged before the same court. Patience and Sarah are charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime and 5 counts of stealing $1 million, 300,000 euros and millions of Ghana cedis. Within the same period, Patience and Sarah allegedly stole personal effects of Madam Cecilia Dapaah, which included assorted clothes valued at 95,000, handbags and perfumes. The rest are jewelries valued at 95,000 US dollars from Cecilia Dapaah. However, Patience alone within the same jewelries valued at 95,000 US dollars from Cecilia Dapaah. However, Patience alone within the same
each other and begin to do networking. They'll exchange ideas, exchange their frustrations, and together they will be able to solve their own problems. So the clustering is very, very important, though it looks quite expensive. In some places we do single constituency. For example, we are in Nkwanta South. We are doing only one constituency. From here we are going to Nkwanta North. We are doing a single constituency.
From the OT region on the Allen campaign tour, my name is Peter Son for Joy News.
First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jose Wusu, says the 8th Parliament is becoming the worst parliament in Ghana's history as the minority forces another adjournment. The minority declared early this week that they are escalating their protest against the prosecution of Jachi Kwesi. The new strategy is to continuously raise matters of quorum, literally shutting the House down every time. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kukwa Sante reports.
Parliament was considering bills, including the Ghana UNESCO bill. It became evident that the House lacked quorum to continue voting. The minority raised the matter, forcing an early adjournment. Speaking to Joy News, the Deputy Speaker explained that he thought the 8th Parliament, with its equal numbers, would be better, but is turning out to be the worst.
We have decided to do politics rather than business. I'm saying it. This equal number of Parliament had brought the worst in MPs. I've repeated it, I will repeat it again. This Parliament, 8th Parliament, has made the least number of laws. We have not cooperated as we did in the past.
The Deputy Speaker also says the leadership on both sides have lost control of the House to the backbenchers.
Today, young people are in control. they look at things differently from the rest of us. So it is good for them, even when their leaders agree to do it. Check out, it's always people from the backbench who come to raise these issues, not the leaders. What it means is that, indeed, at this time, in the Parliament of Ghana, leaders don't have control. The backbench have control. So the number of backbench and the orientation of backbench you bring in will determine what you get.
The whole of this week, Parliament has only considered questions and statements, failing to deal with bills and other weighty matters. The minority strategy is now to raise quorum issues every time. The minority chief whip says cooperation will suffer if their colleagues are still persecuted.
We still remain committed to our statement that in light of this persecution, no cooperation from us.
Trades and Industry Minister K.T. Hammond is concerned that if this trend continues, no key business will be done in Parliament.
And they have explained to us as part of the leadership of the House. Because you take it to the logical conclusion, we can't do anything on the floor of we can't do any business. The standing orders are clear. Constitution pretty clear. Supreme Court has explained. We have a quorum for doing ordinary business of the House. We have a quorum for taking decisions.
Minority MP Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed said his side is only enforcing the Constitution and the standing orders of the House.
Business of the House is guided by two very important things. One, the Constitution, two, the standing orders. Both the Constitution and the standing orders are very clear that before a decision is taken, you should have a specific number. And if you are aware, the Supreme Court itself ruled when we had these same challenges in the matter of the approval of the budget.
Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
The Dapaah Authority has contributed to ensuring proper sanitation practices to help curb the outbreak of communicable diseases in Chiaveme in the Ketu North Municipality of the Volta region. The Dapaah producing company, through its corporate social responsibility, constructed a mechanized borehole and a modern sanitary facility for the community. This is geared towards ending open defecation in the community to help Ghana attain Sustainable Development Goal 6.
Chiaveme is a farming community located along the Hodeni Road in the Ketu North Municipality of the Volta region. Only few households in the community, which has a population of about 1,200, has sanitary facilities, while the only public pit latrine is no more safe for use. Some residents were compelled to use the community basic school's toilet, while majority of them engaged in bad sanitation practices. Chiaveme also lacks access to potable water. Residents rely on water from this dam and the rains.
Yeah, we have a very...
For use. Some residents were compelled to use the community basic school's toilet, while majority of them engaged in bad sanitation practices. Chiaveme also lacks access to potable water. Residents rely on water from this dam and the rains.
Yeah, we have a very, poor sanitation conditions over here.
From this dam and the rains.
Yeah, we have a very, poor sanitation conditions over here.
And we were going to have a price uniformity. No one or no mate is going to charge overpriced passengers because it's going to be uniform across all transport operators.
Reacting to the pilot project, the Director of Academic Affairs at the University of Ghana, Lydia Anoa Nyako Dankwa, warmly welcomed the technology, emphasizing its potential to address transportation needs of students.
I see it as making life a little more easier for people on campus and in extension for people in the country. So it's easier for people to move from place to place. And for instance, right now this system is going to track drivers so that if you pick a taxi on campus, you'll be able to go back if there's an issue to resolve it with that person. Right now we have taxis on campus, we have trotros, we have buses, but there's no system in place to keep them in track just in case there's a problem. So that will be very helpful to the community on campus.
A faculty member from the Department of Computer Science, who is also part of the Tap and Go project team, Dr. Jamaldeen Abdullahi, however, revealed that the innovation would be extended nationwide after a 6-month trial period.
Well, I think University of Ghana is coming on board as the third public institution that is going to go through the pilot stages. So we are looking into 6 months' time. We should be able to identify some of the issues that may come up across as we continue to identify with the already piloted places. So within 6 months, we should be able to go live.
Meanwhile, some executives from driver union groups have been expressing their positive outlook on the Tap and Go initiative.
It will help the student and the union and the university. So let me see, when the student from N block, there is no taxi around there, so they can request from the taxi so that we quickly move and go and pick them, instead of walking through the darkness to come and look for a taxi. I think this thing will help them.
While there is a growing number of ride-hailing platforms currently on the Ghanaian market, few are designed to meet our peculiar challenges as a nation. However, to actualize the cashless system and to bring equity to that sector, Ghanaians have been encouraged to embrace the new initiative wholly put together by Ghanaians. For Joy News, Carlos Caloni, Accra.
Well, in this world of morality and ethical values, we know that plays a very critical role in fostering a peaceful environment. Sustaining these values in recent times has become a general challenge for all, particularly for the keepers of home, religious and traditional times has become a general challenge for all, particularly for the keepers of home, religious and traditional.
Different and fight over things as human beings. Definitely Nigeria has had its own fair share of ethnic, religious, all sorts of tensions from people of various professions. But we also have learned how those mistakes took place. We have seen where some things have worked, and we have lessons. Fortunately, it's not the whole country on fire. We have spots of places that have retained peace, not affected by Boko Haram, not affected by intertribal, inter-ethnic tensions, and a lot of lessons for other parts of Nigeria, but also other parts of the world. Mm-hmm. And we find a lot of interest in how Nigeria is handling its own peace building, what has succeeded, what has worked, not worked, and it becomes lessons for humanity. So in that sense, while unfortunate, it has allowed us to study that part of human nature in that context and see what we can benefit others with. Before I allow you to go, there's been conversations about and you talk about Boko Haram and all of these insurgencies, terrorists mistakenly actually talk about Muslims involved in this, and they just misinterpret the whole situation and think that it is the Quran that is actually asking people to fight. I know that is not the case. I just want you to explain for the sake of my viewers, how can we actually deal with this as a situation that confronts us and actually separating it from religion? I think if we look at the history of every society and of every religion, it's just how far back into the past you want to go. There's always a time where people use religion to justify taking power and forcing others on their own interpretation. Yeah. Every religion has it. And it comes and it goes. So it's unfortunately, it's not new. When you don't know what a good dollar bill looks like, it's difficult to identify the fake. And sometimes what happens is a society becomes very illiterate about its own religion, that somebody who is charismatic, who touches the grievances of people, can wrap religion and package it in such a way that it looks beautiful. You know, we talk of false prophets, we talk of the wolf in sheep's clothing. This is part of what, human beings are used to, unfortunately. But what we find is
within the Muslim community, you have those Muslims who have grievances. And what we find also about terrorism and violent extremism is ideology alone without grievance doesn't produce movement.
Yep.
What they think they are doing is a liberation theology. But what we find is innocent people being killed in the name of a religion that is teaching peace. And our responsibility as religious leaders is to vaccinate, if I use that term, the community so that they are not recruited, they don't support it, and they can quickly identify and call it out for what it is. And gradually we find these dying a natural death until God knows how many years later, when people become ignorant again, then it comes back again.
Just to answer the question briefly about the Quran part, because you have to be very clear when it comes to those issues. So yes, there are killing. We have to be very clear and educate the masses, because our religion, Islam, life in every aspect of their existence, including when wars, are
confront us.
Yes. So how to behave in those wars? So we have rules of how to actually come back with the enemies when they strike. But those verses are often quoted out of context. Like there is an ayah in the Quran, there is a verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to those people in the battlefield at that time and kill the disbelievers wherever you find them. Imagine if you take that verse now and go down the streets of Ghana
and start killing
finding just non-believers or non-Muslims and start just... But if you continue the ayah, and this, by the way, like one part of a very long ayah, very long verse. And then Allah said, but kill the believer wherever you find them, but never transgress the bounds, never transgress limits. And if they stop fighting you, you must also stop fighting them. Not only that, but escort them to a place of security. Secure them, because they said, okay, peace. So whoever, that's in the war battle context. So it's an invitation to those people. We were discussing yesterday with the ulama, and they mentioned a quote by Imam Abu Hanifa that whosoever's teacher is a book, just you're reading on your own, without going back to scholars and mashayikh. That reading would be your path to misguidance. So you have to go back to scholars, those who studied the deen from A to Z, to give you the right historical context to understand what's written in the Quran.
And this convention certainly is something that all of us must take opportunity to actually understand some of these things, because I see that it's deep, and if you look at the speakers, it's going to be quite an interesting one. So it's when? Saturday, Sunday?
This weekend, Saturday, Sunday, from 9 a.m.
It's 2 days.
All the way to 6 p.m. I think. It's a full-packed event. There will be breakout sessions, parallel going through from the big main venue to workshops on the side, events for teenagers as well, Sheikh.
Yes.
And,
men, women, children.
Q&A, panel discussion. So Muslims and non-Muslims alike are welcome to attend.
Right, so we'll be looking forward to that convention. I'll try and be there myself. Thank you so much for passing by. Sheikh Nuruddin Lemo is an international scholar from Nigeria, and Sheikh Wael Ibrahim, who is from Australia, actually my father. Thank you so much for coming. Let's take a break on Joy News Desk. When we return, there is business.
Twelve ambitious talents, 11 weeks of intense grooming, 7 talents have dropped off. Now, down to the final 5. Who emerges the winner for the maiden edition of Joy Prime's Cues and Lyrics and goes home with the 20,000 cash prize, an all expenses paid trip to Dubai, a recording deal, and other amazing products from our sponsors: TM Music, Lovette, Kwabena Mufasa, Traeger, Limwell. Who wears the crown? Vote for your favorite to glory via short code *711 *60#. Join us on Saturday, July 20. 22-2023, 8 p.m. at the Silicon Production House, Tesano, as we treat you to back-to-back performances and the crowning of the ultimate winner of Cues and Lyrics. It will be a night of great music with special performances from Superstar TZ, Mighty, and the newest sensation on the music scene, King Paluta. Come cheer your favorite to victory. Attendance is free. Guests must be seated by 7 p.m. Cues and Lyrics is sponsored by Syntax Tank, Aya Strong, Aya Tough, Adansa Travels, and Ghana AIDS Commission. Cues and Lyrics, bring on the music. Joy Prime, your ultimate experience.
For crystal clear and thrilling podcasts and live shows, download and listen to us on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, MyJoy Online, Amazon services like Echo, Amazon Music, and Audible, Stitcher, Adom Online, Overcast, and Pandora. Take note of everything. Sign up for the multimedia digital platforms now to stay updated.
The distinguished patronage of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ghana National College celebrates its 75th Speech and Prize-Giving Day under the theme 75 Years of Holistic Education, Nurturing Leaders for the 21st Century. Date, July 22nd, 2023. Time, 8 a.m. Venue, Ghana National College, Cape Coast. The celebration will be climaxed with other landmark events as follows. July 16th, Regional Church Service. July 19th, Inter-House Debate. July 20th, Nananum Inspire followed by a sit-down. July 21st, Football Gala, AGM, Flag-Raising Ceremony and more. July 22nd, Speech and Prize-Giving Day, Fundraising Dinner Dance. July 23rd, Thanksgiving Service, swearing in new executives, Omuto Fufu Gathering, Pool Party. Nananum Enyansafo.
12 ambitious talents, 11 weeks of intense grooming, 7 talents have dropped off. Now, down to the final 5. Who emerges the winner for the maiden edition of Joy Prime's Cues and Lyrics and goes home with the 20,000 cash prize, an all expenses paid trip to Dubai, a recording deal, and other amazing products from our sponsors: TM Music, Lovette, Kwabena Mufasa, Traeger, Limwell. Who wears the crown? Vote for your favorite to glory via short code *711 *60#. Join us on Saturday, July 22, 2023, 8 p.m. at the Silicon Production House, Tesano, as we treat you to back-to-back performances and the crowning of the ultimate winner of Cues and Lyrics. It will be a night of great music with special performances from Superstar TZ, Mighty, and the newest sensation on the music scene, King Paluta. Come cheer your favorite to victory. Attendance is free. Guests must be seated by 7 p.m. Cues and Lyrics is sponsored by Syntax Tank, Aya Strong, Aya Tough, Adansa Travels, and Ghana AIDS Commission. Cues and Lyrics, bring on the music. Joy Prime, your ultimate experience. Six technical universities have set out to lock Nasan Ladil in the quest for the bragging rights as the Big Chef Tertiary School 2023.
We know we are the best and we are not shaken by anyone.
Hey.
Chinese
We are all the way from Takoradi Western to Greater Accra. Oh no, come on.
Visitors cannot come from anywhere and come and defeat us.
We can prepare dishes that are going to suit the judges all day.
We are here to win. We are taking everything back to home.
The battle line is drawn. Big Chef Tertiary shows this and every Sunday at 5 p.m. only on Joy Prime. Big Chef Tertiary, the kitchen has no boundaries. Joy Prime, your ultimate experience.
Hits 103.9 FM, the official mouthpiece of tertiary institutions, brings you the Hits Tertiary Show. Friday, 21st July 2023. The Hits Tertiary Show stops at the Ghana Communications Technology University in Tesano.
Join us as we interact, socialize, and have fun at the Ghana Communications Technology University Tesano on Friday, 21st July 2023 from 2 p.m. live on Hits 103.9 FM. There'll be loads of fun and entertainment as we deliberate on issues bothering students live on radio.
Which tertiary institution do you represent? Watch out for the Hits Tertiary at a campus near you. For enquiries, call 0540-106-467 or 0559-691-797.
Follow us on our social media platforms with the hashtag Hits Tertiary. Hits Tertiary Radio Show is brought to you by Hits 103.9 FM and partnered by the Ghana Communications Technology University. Sponsors, Access Bank. More than banking, Unidos Long Love Condoms. Certain moments should last longer. Niche Confectionery, a taste of Ghana.
I'm at the point in life, if you understand me or not, misunderstand me or not.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. President of the Ghana Hotels Association, Edward Akanyamike Jr., is calling on government to address the numerous challenges or the numerous charges imposed on the sector in the mid-year budget. According to him, the country can meet its target of attracting over 1.5 million tourists into the country, but government needs to reduce the number of taxes imposed on the sector to help businesses increase their profits. He spoke at the third National Executive Council meeting of the Ghana Hotels Association on the sector to help businesses increase their profits. He spoke at the third National Executive Council meeting of the Ghana Hotels Association.